Okay, we are live now. Welcome everybody. Greetings to all our audience. It's always a pleasure to host you on Sadref Africa platform. This is a place where we believe that broken crayons still color. Welcome to Brighter Day segment. This is our monthly talk show that is brought to us every Friday or every last Friday of the month, whereby we cover and discuss different relevant topics based on authentic stories to give hope and also transform lives. Just remember that we are live on Sadref Africa Facebook page. So you could feel free to host a watch party. You can share this on your timeline and also invite somebody on this conversation by maybe tagging them. Yes, and also for more information, you can also visit our Facebook page, that is Sadref Africa. You may like and follow and also share the link with someone else. Also check out on our website, that is www.sadref.com, so that you may know the kind of programs and activities that we have, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Sadref Africa. I would also want to take this opportunity to invite all of us to be part of this raw and candid conversation, and kindly engage by going to the chat box, put your question, put your comments, your thoughts, and also your experience. We shall try to react and respond to as many as we can as we continue with this conversation. So welcome all of you. Maybe to start us off to our discussion today, I would want to share something that I came across, and this is a survey and statistics featured in the standard paper, which said that a survey of couples claims those who met online are more likely to stay together than romances which begin in more traditional ways. Psychologists have suggested those using the dating apps actually have stronger relationship goals and therefore a higher chance of finding that special someone and meaningful connections. The survey also found the dating apps help to cultivate long distance relationships and more diverse couples, especially high educated women and less educated men going on dates. Before dating apps really took off, we had websites where they go to for finding a partner online. And the study found these mainly attracted people over the age of 40 and divorcees. Dr. Gunnar Potaka of Geneva University said, the internet is transforming the dynamics of how people meet. It provides unprecedented abundance of meeting opportunities and involves minimal effort. And that is the end of the finding statistic that I've found somewhere. And just to introduce myself, my name is Jenny Washira, and I will be your host today. We are on episode 8, and our topic today is about dating and courtship, and more specifically about online dating. And the question is, does online dating work? I am privileged to host 4 super amazing guests with us who will help us unpack, analyze, and also explore this contentious topic. I'm so glad to host Pastor Cynthia Wamboi Otieno, who is a love, life, and relationship coach. And I know she has other many titles which she will tell us when she'll be introducing herself. And she will be helping us just to explore this from an expert point of view. And I know she has interacted with many people about relationships, and she has tackled that topic before. I'm also joined by amazing couple, that is the Mwakazis, who met online and they are now married. They will share with us their experience as far as that is concerned. And also I joined by a beautiful lady who has her share of experience as far as online dating is concerned. All these guests, I know they have inspiring, informative, and experiences in their journeys that they will share with us today. And maybe to start us off, I would like we introduce ourselves, who we are and what we do, so that the audience can get to connect with us before we get to the real discussion of dating and courtship. I would want to invite Pastor Cynthia to start us off.
All right, all right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'm Cynthia Waboi Otieno, a relationship and marriage coach, but first and foremost, a child of God. A woman who has just so much great passion for women, passion for relationships. I'm a published author of a book that my husband and I co-authored by the title, When Love Dares. I'm also passionate about not just relationships, but equipping the relationships to become, to grow to their greatest potential. So I'm really glad to be here tonight, and thank you for inviting me, Jenny. And I look forward to a vibrant, thought-provoking conversation tonight.
Thank you so much, Pastor Cynthia, for that introduction. Yeah, maybe we'll go to the Mwakazis, and maybe we can start with the gentleman. Karibu.
I thought it's ladies first. Anyway, I have the honor to start. Ladies first, but men before. My name is Mwakazi, Godfrey Mwakazi. I'm a certified personal trainer, health coach, nutritionist, life and fitness, coach. And I'm certified by ACE, American Council on Exercise. And I practice personal training, both locally, internationally, via Zoom, face-to-face, and all that. Most of all, I'm born again, married to one wife, and yeah.
Thank you for that.
Hi, I'm Pauline Muthoni Mwakazi. Yeah. I'm a sales representative in one of the pharmaceuticals in Kenya, that is Sadref. And I'm proud to be here. I'm happy. Yeah.
And now to the Karibu Sana, Julia.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Julia Awor Ayako. I am a digital marketer by profession, a nutritionist as well. I've just heard there's a nutritionist in the house. And I am also a podcaster. And my podcast name goes by the name Just Being Real, Good Vibes Only Podcast. And it's just focusing on life and just enjoying how life is beautiful. No matter how tough it is, we appreciate the ups and downs because they make us learn. And I am a mother to one 8-year-old. Yeah, so I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much, Julia, for that intro. And now, to start us off, I would wish to invite Pastor Cynthia to tell us something before even we get to the real discussion of the day. Because from the survey that I read, there's something they picked out on the age and maybe the people who've had, they've been in relationships before, maybe the divorcee, the widowed, or those who've been in a long-term relationship. Does the game of dating change as far as this is concerned? compared maybe to the younger individuals and now to these people who've been there before and now they're wishing to go back. And that's why even we called our title Bouncing Back, because our audience, I know many want to get into that space. So we want to know maybe if there's anything that has changed or is the way things used to be. Karibu, Pastor Cynthia.
All right. I think there's a very good friend of mine who used to tell me only a baby loves change. Change is inevitable. Change is going to happen. And so what will happen is that it's never going to be the way it used to be. Transformation has happened. If you were married maybe 15, 20 years ago, and we were laughing about this the other day, and we were saying, you probably did not have a cell phone for yourself. Indio. And now we're grappling between three cell phones, which are either Android or iPhone, and you have WhatsApp and you have all this digital technology that you have to grapple with. 15 years ago, you were not doing that. And now you are pretty savvy. So what happens is that change has taken place. So even if change has taken place in the banking sector, change has taken place in the education sector, guess what? In relationships and dating, change has taken place. So what will be required from the person who's sitting back and saying that, okay, I haven't dated, it's been a while, there has to be a total mind shift into how the presentation of what do you think, how do you feel about dating. And it doesn't mean that you have to transform yourself, but you have to open up your mind to realize that on the ground it's different. You know, the ground is different. It's a different ball game, and you've got to interact and interview and mingle in with the new ideologies or ideas. It doesn't mean that you have to embrace it, but it means that you have to open yourself up and learn what you need to learn in this season.
Thank you so much, Pastor Cynthia, for that. And for sure, things on the ground are no longer the same. And that's why we have this discussion just to learn some few tips and nuggets just to help us move forward in a smooth way. Yeah, and maybe I would invite the Mwakazis. We would like to get to understand a bit of your story, where you've come from, and also as far as the dating is concerned, so that at least we can connect with today's conversation. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. We are grateful to be here as well. Now that we have women of God in the presence, it makes the discussion more scary, because you're like, this is not the formal way that we used to know. This is not, what is preached about, but anyway, anyhow, we are here to tell our story. Yeah. So we will start off with her, then we'll go to me.
So basically, this is what happened. It was just one fine morning that I just thought of going back to this app called Tinder. Tinder is one of the apps that it's a dating site, and most of the people join, and it's mostly known by the people outside country, not famous in Kenya, but it's currently everywhere and everyone can join it. So I thought, now that I've broken up with my ex, why don't I just go to Tinder and look for fun? So what I meant is I just wanted to go to Tinder to look for fun, because I had an ex-husband. And going back to Tinder was for me to catch up with people who I will network with, and men that maybe I can have fun with. You can't go to Tinder to have a relationship or friendship with a woman. It's men and you. So me going back to Tinder, I was just going to flatter and have fun, because now the previous marriage I was in with my ex-husband was not working. So I thought, why not go have fun? And now that's where I met the amazing soul, Mwakazi.
myself, I had never heard of Tinder before. I was introduced to Tinder by a client of mine who works with an NGO. So she was like, you've been single for quite some time now. And although you have your children, why don't you interact? So I went, downloaded the app Tinder. I was taught a few basic, like if you see someone's profile and you like it, you swipe right. If you don't like it or you don't feel it, you swipe left. So those were the rules. And there I was in a new environment. Just put the same picture. My picture was just one, so I think I duplicated it or twice. So I was busy swiping right or swiping left. On the other side, she was also swiping right and swiping left. So when she swipes right and I swipe right, we match.
You're muted, Mwakazi. Unmute.
Say hi to Pauline. So that was us. I started saying hi. So I said hi to her. This was Wednesday, and she responded the same day.
Yeah, but later, hours later, much later in the evening, in fact.
Yes. Yeah. So this is Wednesday. She responded much later. We continued with a simple hi on Thursday. Yeah. And now the hi continued on Friday, and she was a bit responsive on Friday than on Wednesday. So I asked her for her number. So I was like, why don't we talk elsewhere, not on Tinder? Because Tinder actually you can only chat on Tinder. Why don't you send me your number? She was like, no, you give me your number, I will call you. And we have the famous saying that normally says, don't call us, we will call you. So that one was a long way for her call. So in the evening, she responded.
You're muted, Mwakazi. I think you're pressing by mistake. We have missed something there, something important you were saying.
Then we can continue talking. Yeah. So that's what we decided to do. So now I was happy I have a number. Yeah. At least I can initiate the call. So I packed and called her. So we started talking. So I was like, I'm a Swahili. I think my pickup lines were very weird. I'm a Swahili. I can cook for you pilau. Why don't you come over? I make for you pilau. She was a bit investigative. She had gone to all social media with my names, trying to look who is this person, yeah, trying to research more on me. So she found me with photos, yeah, with my kids. So she was like, so what are you doing in Tinder yet you're married, you have kids? So I don't have to be married to have kids. We have a lot of single ladies out there. So can't I be just a single father? I know it's very rare, but can't I just be a single father? And I went ahead and gave her my true story and why I was single and why I was on Tinder. And one thing I always like encouraging people is speak your truth. Yeah, speak your truth from the word go. Don't let things get discovered, along the way. So I told her everything about me, and I knew that this is my truth, and this is something that should not get other truth elsewhere. So I told her my truth, and still she declined my invitation for the pilau date. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't think you can just invite me for food, and I've eaten a lot of food. So I thought being a lady, you should not just jump for. If a man tells you, come, I take you someplace, come, I buy for you thing. You're not there to, you're not dating that person, or you're not going to meet that person because of food, because of material things, because it might turn up to be that pillow you're being called for to eat that pillow. You're the one who's going to be eaten. So to avoid that, you just have to be yourself. You have to be real. And for me, rejecting the offer, it was because, one, we just met on Tinder. I barely know you. It's just been a day that we have just known each other.
Yeah.
And I felt that I'm tired. I just felt I'm tired with these men. I just want space. I just want to have fun. So for me, not giving him my number was just to give myself time if I want to talk to him or not. And I was just there to have fun, not to be tied up, you know. So for me, rejecting his pillow offers and these things, it was just that I wanted fun elsewhere, and I just wanted fun. So not something serious that I wanted. I just wanted fun. But now he gave me his number, and I decided, why should I not try and give him a call for him not to say that I'm rude? Because we women sometimes can tend to be rude. You can be given a number and immediately you just block him. So I just took my time because he shared his number way early. And I just thought of, it's 5 p.m. I'm going home. Now I'm free. I don't have to waste my time, you know. Why don't I just call him on my way home? So I called him and I told him, this is Pauline. You shared your number with me today. So I said call. So he told me, let me park and we talk. I was like, okay, cool. So later on when he called, I saw a profile photo of his kids. And I was like, so what are you doing on Tinder? You have kids. And now, you know, the conversation became, I started having another mind that he wants to be a sponsor, like, you know, a sponsor like guy who has a family, a wife. And now he has brought the lines of, I would have married you if I met you before my wife. And you know, if a man or a Kenyan man tells you that, just know it's a scam. So I knew that was just a scam for him, telling me, I don't have a wife, but I have kids. So I thought this is not normal. And I had not subscribed for that. Yeah.
So
maybe Wakazi, before you go on, I would like, there's some points I don't want we miss there that I would want Pastor Cynthia to comment about. And Pastor Cynthia, from their discussion, you can see they have shared, they've all come from a broken relationship. Maybe you will say any connection with that. And again, you can see from their testimony, as Pauline was sharing, you know, just getting to the app to have fun, not with some seriousness. What are the red flags maybe that you can pick from the online dating from your teachings?
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm truly enjoying their story and how love happened, even when you are not truly looking for it. Imekupata, ikakupata kabisa. That is amazing. And let me tell you something. One of the things that I have found with online dating, and I have no qualms about it, I'm not against it. I remember when I was a single girl, way into my 30s, I did register for online dating, but at the time there was no Tinder. It was eharmony.com. dating sites. and so I remember that's something I had reached a point I was thinking, you know, I need to date somebody. I need somebody authentic or something real. But the red flags, like, you know, like Mrs. Mwakazi is talking about, is that sometimes one of the things that you have to be very careful for is the scammers. And I have encountered quite a number of people who have been scammed. And it's happening quite a bit because what has happened is that with online, you've become one big global village. Okay, I was looking at the statistics. Tinder has over 57 million worldwide subscribers. 57 million. Let me give you perspective. We are how many in this country? 40 what?
40 something. We are not even yet 50.
We are still giving birth, but we are not yet at 50 million. So that would mean the whole of this country, and we borrow some from Uganda, are all registered subscribers. So that tells you there is a need. People want to connect. People are hungry, and especially when you have had a first love and it did not work, regardless of the fact that sometimes people will say it was my fault or it was their fault. Whatever the reason was for the failure of that relationship, that you want to come back into the game and strongly and be able to find love or be found. It's the mindset behind online dating is that it is a safer place as compared to an in-person dating. Because if I swipe and look at you and I don't like what I see, I don't have to engage with you. I just need to swipe to the left and I move on to the next subscriber. How easy is that? Can you now in our days you have to meet at Kencom and then you stand under that clock and you wait and then the sun is beating you and then you go to this tired coffee at what was that place that we used to go in? It was something green what was it, Green Corner. So you go to Green Corner and you don't like the person who's sitting across, but you still have to eat that food and that was first date. You see, now online dating makes it easier. The reception, I can just swipe to the left or swipe to the right without having to spend any other money on this person. So it brings about the comfortability, but then at the same time, it actually makes it very easy for you to reject and to move on. It's like the way you would go to a supermarket. If you decide to see what you don't like and you don't like it, you move on. No feelings, no feelings, let's move on. And so for the person who is vested and feeling that, you know what, I really like him, and the one who's window shopping, it can be a mismatch of relationship and expectations, and that can bring a lot of hurt and pain, especially somebody who has come from a broken relationship or a broken season. If they have not had time to work on themselves, it will be very important for them to do that, or else it can become a downward spiral of pain.
Wow. Thank you for that, Pastor Cynthia. And maybe to remind our audience, kindly continue putting your comments on the chat. Your experience, we know many, you've walked this path. You can put your comment, your questions. We will address them as we continue. Maybe before we get back to Mwakazis, I would like Julia, you've heard from Mwakazis and what also Pastor Cynthia has said. Maybe we can get to hear a bit of your experience with online dating.
Okay, so maybe I'll start with a little background so that people are able to understand. So for me, I was out of the dating scene for quite a while because I am a single parent. And I think when you've just gotten a baby and you're trying to juggle life and being a single parent at the same time, you put your focus on your child and everything that you're doing at that moment. And plus, from the hurt I had gotten from breaking off with the father to my child, I just wanted time off. So I took a bit of a long time. And by the time I was set and ready, because it took almost 2 years, and now when I was ready, like, okay, let's now do this, there was no one. Plus, like we've talked about the changes, the dating scene has changed. Personally, okay, I'm not as old, but I just turned 33. But I remember when we were dating back then in my 20s, in my 19s, yeah, we were used to having someone actually approaching you, inviting you on a date, having meaningful conversations and connections and seeing actually if this thing can work or not. And people would be patient, if you tell them, give me time, they would give you time. But now here we are, and it's gotten to a point, if someone invites you for a date, they're telling you to come over to their place, or when are you inviting me so that I can come, you cook for me? That was shocking for me. And it took me like it shocked me for a while. Now, when it comes to online dating, okay, haven't tried Tinder, but I was about to join and just experience and see what's the fuss. But mine, I'll talk about Facebook and Instagram. So mine happened on Facebook, and of course, we have those men we call, the ones who talk alone on your inbox. They're like, hi, hey, good night, good morning. So there was this guy, and he had been persistent for like 1 year, and I never said hi back or anything, but he would come and say hi in the afternoon. I hope your afternoon is okay. In the evening, hope your day went well. Good night. And he was persistent the whole time. And then at some point, I guess I felt guilty, and I was like, okay, let me try and chat him up. So the day I decided to say hi, I could actually feel his excitement, even though he wasn't there. And I remember he actually scheduled for a date immediately, like the following day. I was off, and of course, he insisted I give him my number. I did, and he scheduled for the date. And we went for a date. I remember it was Java, and it was refreshing to actually see someone asking for an actual date, because the people I was meeting were not asking for this date. And we went for the date, and it was awesome. I remember we chatted till 1 a.m. Then of course we parted ways. It was good of him, because he dropped me off, but he was not insisting on coming inside or telling me, let's go to my place, which was good as well. So the boxes were being ticked. So here I am, and we've done dates, we've gone for dates, and now I'm starting to wonder, okay, so when is this guy going to, invite me over now? I guess it's time. And when I ask about it, like, we've been dating, we've been doing outdoors, but you've never invited me. And he's like, you know what? I can't invite you because I stay with my sister, and she's going through something. But once she's settled and whatever, of course, we will do this. I'm like, oh, I'm the understanding partner. This guy cannot lie. Okay, fine. That's okay. So we continue doing the outdoors, and it comes to this day, and he's dropped me, and I'm like, okay, you know what? You can just come in. So it went on, and I remember even he took me for a holiday. He treated me so nicely, and I came to believe that love actually still exists. As much as I went through the ordeal, he made me believe that, yeah, you know what? This authentic connection still exists, because we really did a lot of outdoors fast. So we even at some point went for a holiday, came back. And when you're going for a holiday, my friends are calling me, and they're like, you know what? I think that guy is going to 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 propose. And I remember in my head, um, that day I was like, okay, this is, the way dinner is brought, and you're busy trying to eat slowly so that you find that ring. I was ready. But it didn't happen. So this went on for quite a while. And now finally, I remember it was on a Valentine's Day, and they had called me and they had told me he's not around. So he'll be coming the following day. So I'm here excited and everything. And I get a funny call, a number that I didn't have. And on picking up, there's a lady on the other end. And he's like, hi, my name is and so is my husband. Yeah, that's where everything rumbled.
Just stop there, Julia.
Let's have a moment of silence.
That
Yes.
is a moment of silence for sure. You can imagine. And you've said how long was that?
I even sometimes feel ashamed of saying it. It was a year. And in the process, I kept on asking questions, because I ask a lot of questions. So of course we talked about marriage, we talked about kids, and I think that's when I believed, okay, this guy is really serious. So, and I remember when he asked for my number, the first thing I was to give him my number on condition that he is not married, because I don't deal with married people. That's a no-go zone. And he assured me he's not married. So I'll stop there.
Wow, Julia.
Oh, yeah,
thanks for sharing that story. Oh my goodness.
now we've seen the other side of the coin, Pastor Cynthia. I don't know what kind of advice you can give us, you can give the audience, because now, again, they are going for a whole year without knowing the truth or getting to know the truth of the thing after all that long. So I don't know the kind of advice that you can give as far as Julia's story is concerned. And also the thing of for how long, or rather getting somebody who is not ready to invite you to their space or not ready to reveal so much, you know, and you continue with the relationship. And also to a point that the person is not saying anything, you know, you're just you're going for meals, you're going for this, but there's no progress. I don't know what kind of advice you can give as far as that is concerned.
All right. Julia, the fact that you can tell us this story, it shows you have gone through to the other side of healing. Thank you for sharing it so openly. I totally appreciate that, because somebody else will learn from your story and be built. So thank you. Now, I would like to say that one of the things that is a caution with the World Wide Web is that there are a lot of inauthentic people who are out to play. Julia did not sign up for to be a playmate, you know, or for lack of a better word, is it Nyumba Dogo initiative?
Yes.
You know, she didn't sign up for that. And I think that's the most important conversation, is that let your truth be served upfront. And I have a lot of respect for people who serve their truth upfront, even if it's an online date or if it's an in-person date, whatever it is, serve your truth. I am married, or even I have children. I have had 7 children, and you know, if I get married to you, we will have the 8th, child. Have your truth. I have been a criminal before, and this is what I was caught up in. It's important for us to have full disclosure. Now, the signs that that you would know that somebody is hiding something is, one, do a little bit of investigation, do a background check. Check on all their social media. Some of them are very clever. They will hide stuff. They will hide their profiles and remove children's pictures. They will remove spouses' pictures. But what I have found is that I'm a very inquisitive person. I just don't look at your profile. I will ask you to look at the friends' profiles, because let me tell you something, our friends are very interesting. They will also post pictures of you and your spouse and your husband. Don't you do that? It's only me who does that. So
now I do.
Yeah, you look at friends. If you're my friend Julia, I will look at your friends and their pictures, so that then if you're trying to do a friend request or you're trying to do business with me, just the same way you're so cautious with business, can we be the same way when we are cautious with relationship? Can I do the checks? Then when you say that your name is Mwakazi, I'm also going to Google you and see, what does Google say about you? What does LinkedIn say? And you do, especially because it's online. You have seen what has happened in the West, where this very old American or European women are being scammed, by West African. And I'm not trying to stereotype anyone, but you see those letters and they are able to open up their accounts. It's because they're not doing enough background checking and to safeguard their privacy. Putting too much information too soon is a risk factor. Privacy issues, when you give too much information at the first date, second date, and the third date. Now, one of the signs from your conversation, Julia, that immediately sparked something in me is when he said, you can't come to the house. Woo! That for me is like, ding, 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 ding. A red flag. There is a woman he doesn't want you to see. Because let me tell you something, a true king will want to show off his kingdom, okay? Will show off his kingdom, will show what he has done with his kingdom, a true king. And so when this one is saying that I live with my sister, what's wrong with your sister? Is she disabled, or what is wrong? Is she not normal? What is it you're trying to hide about your sister that is a problem? that for you, you're ashamed of. You know what I mean? So it's very important for you to be upfront, talk about it. Then don't take everything at face value. What you see sometimes is not what you get. So ask deeper questions. And sometimes what I have found, when you meet with somebody online and you have had the first date, have like a cheat sheet of 50 questions I need to ask before you take me on a second date. Who's your mother? Which church do you go to? Who's your pastor? If I called your pastor right now, what would he say about you? What ministry do you serve in and why? And those questions may sound a bit intrusive. I remember, you know, I only had one date with my husband before I married him. But the thing is that we downloaded online 50 questions you need to ask the man or the spouse you want to marry. Because sometimes you can be so jaded by what you're looking at that you forget to ask the critical questions. Where did you grow up? Why did you grow up where you grew up? Which high school did you go to? Okay, what crime have you committed since nursery? You know, and it's important. You will be able to get to understand what character issues does this person have. You know, they may sound funny, but you know, let me tell you something. If your crime has been stealing ever since you were in nursery school, there's a character issue with this person. So you've got to pick up the cues. Then the last and the final thing, and I'm going to tell you this unapologetically. If you are a believer, can you subscribe to the power of the Holy Spirit to reveal character, to reveal this person? And let me tell you something, God has the amazing ability to reveal if this person is not the person. Who you will hear a report, you will get a phone call, you will see a message somewhere that makes you realize, this person has no ability to take me where I'm going and has no ability to give me what I'm looking for. And don't settle for less. There's a lot of settling. We settle because I am over 35. I settle because, oh, he has money, or she has this, or because of this. Don't settle. Because one of the things that we deal with as relationship counselors is that a lot of settlers now want us to help fix the settled. But the thing is that you had an expectation, but you settled for less. Now you've got to deal with it. You've got to live with it. You understand? So please stop settling, especially when it comes to online dating.
Wow, those are very, very powerful tips. Do your background check. Don't take anything at the face value. And I think what I've loved most, as a believer, you ought to subscribe to the power of the Holy Spirit. And also don't settle for less. I think those are very, very important. As we get to Mwakazi to continue with their story, I would like to applaud Wandia Maruria. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Joanne Wandera. Thank you, Liz Shiro, for joining. Lina Tena. Gladys Morogo, thank you for joining. Judy, thank you for joining. Yeah, maybe you'll have to post your questions so that we'll review as we continue. Maybe I can read one that is from Joy Irungu. These social media guys who keep on saying hi, good morning, good night. For a whole month, 2 months, you know, no conversation. So I think, Pastor Cynthia, even you'll tell us about communication, because I think some of these guys with communication, Liz Shiro, some players don't have social media accounts. That's what Liz Shiro is saying. Nyaushi Karaoke, thank you. Due diligence in social media circle is necessary, just as is in business. That's good. Joan Wandera talking of red flags. Yeah, thank you so much, Gladys. You've also echoed the same. Subscribe to the power of the Holy Spirit for God to reveal the person and the power. Thank you for those comments. Keep them coming. Back to the Mwakazis. Now, Pahali tuliachia, it was you now taking us through.
Yes. And yeah, we are happy with, you know, the pastor's intervention and your kind word. We really appreciate. Now, I think my pickup line was verified. You know, the way you can have an account verified was verified much later, because what I was offering her first was to come to my place so that I cook for her pilau. Okay, now that she has spoken about that, now I'm reflecting back. Maybe that's what now gave me an edge over anyone else. So this was on Friday, and so I proposed to her, why don't you come over? I cook for you pilau. She was like, no, she's working to the following day. So I was like, okay, can I pick you for lunch? She was like, no, maybe on Sunday. Yeah. So she was telling me maybe on Sunday. And the reason why she was telling me no, as in I can't pick her from work, yet she had told me she worked half day, was because she was having another date with another West African working with the UN at at Sankara. So at the same time, she was actually the Sankara guy had told you you meet for lunch. Yeah, so she was trying to play, her cards well. So I was like, okay, you leave. You at some point you said yes. So I insisted. You said yeah. So I was like, I'll come pick you from work. You're like, I think you thought I wouldn't come. Yeah. So she thought I wouldn't come, and now she can proceed with the other guy, the UN guy. When you see UN, you're looking at
Back up.
yes, yeah. That the UN comes with security. It comes with this is a person who is earning in dollars. This is a person who is take Sankara on the first date. Me, I was taking her to Kawangware.
Competition.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, we settled for that. So Saturday came. She had told me where she worked. So I went there. So before I went there, I had sent her a photo of, a very old car I Googled somewhere. So I was like, when you see this car, know it's me.
Oh.
So I was trying to, just have her like low expectation. Yeah? You don't expect like someone who's coming with a Range Rover and all that. Yeah. So when now I went there actually earlier before she left work, and guess what? When she left work, because I had seen all her photos, I knew her from a distance. Like the way she was walking, so she was a model, the way she was dressed. So I was like, and she found me seated on, my car bonnet. So as she's approaching, my voice was deepening. Then I was like, hey, baby.
Wait.
And she smiled. And she smiled.
Mysteries.
Hey,
Yeah.
I tell you.
I opened the car door for her, and it was not actually the car that she was, she was thinking the center. It was now a BMW. So so we drove from Westlands through Lavington as we are talking, as I'm, also doing my interrogations and all that. Kept on like, just showing her that I'm not into games anymore. This is what I've gone through in my life, and this is where I am at, and this is what I'm looking at. So as the air kept on changing, from Westlands, Lavington, the air is a bit fresh. Now you get into Kawangware where the air changes. So as the air was changing, her mind, I think, was also getting tense because remember, she was being waited for at Sankara by the UN guy. Yeah, by the UN guy. And so this is the first time we are meeting. So remember, guys, we started chatting on Wednesday, chatted on Thursday, chatted and exchanged number on Friday. Now we are meeting on Saturday for the first time. So I was like, I told her, I need to change. I was on a tracksuit. My work is a personal trainer, so I was on a tracksuit. Can I go home, change? Then I'll take you for lunch. I told her I'll take her to Impala Club. So can I go change? So she took me home to change. And because I had done some shopping, so I was like, why don't you help me take this to the house? So we went up there. And because I was carrying, I think, more heavier things than her, so I was like, help me open the door. I gave her the keys. She opened the door. We went in, And immediately she got in, I told her, now this is your house.
Hey,
Now
hey.
maybe she can.
On what day? You can imagine now that.
Yeah. It reminds me of Simon Mokonde was born on a Monday. Sorry.
What day is this? Can you?
Ati what?
Yes. Maybe you can tell us some risk with that. But, maybe she was lucky to find a genuine person. And
Yeah.
sometimes of what things are happening nowadays, you never know. Maybe you can land on hands that are not
Dangerous.
good. Maybe some few things that you can give us there, Pastor Cynthia.
Yeah.
Just to be cautious. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mwakazi, I respect the fact that you are genuine. You had no ulterior motives. Maybe you just wanted to show her your responsibilities, and you have a good home, you know. But the truth of the matter is, we're in the 21st century when we cannot allow our daughters to gallivant on a first date in anybody's home. I actually do say that if even today with my young daughters, they're not allowed to enter people's homes, and not because anything can happen. An accident can happen in the home. Anything can happen. And then now our mature daughters, what will happen is that they're predators. We're living at times when people can actually kill. You saw that man who was killing and eating the women. And this, you're very vulnerable when you are alone. And so I would say, if you are going to meet somebody, especially you have just met them online, the first date, I would dissuade you from meeting in a home setting, because if you really were not feeling the person, it's very hard to get away from that experience easily than when you are meeting in a public space. So number one, meet in a public area, well lit, well aerated, so that then you can be able to get away if you need to. Number two, if you're going to meet somebody, have a contact, somebody who you have said that I'm going to be with Mwakazi from 2 to 5. If at 5:01 I don't call you, please call me. And you know I am at this pin, this location from 2 to 5 p.m. And at 5:01, if I haven't called you telling you how that date was, then call me, get the police, get the fire brigade, whatever it is. So that then there's some sense of accountability. I think that's one thing. We have to be accountable for ourselves, even for the safety of others. That's important. The other thing that is also very important is be very open and very clear what you want from your first date. You know, sometimes we say, okay, sawa, twende tu tukakule nyama. Maybe you're even a vegetarian, but you're just trying to impress the person. Be who you are, be authentic, and say, man, I don't like meat in Kawangware. It's not halal. So I want to go where there's halal. You know, let's be authentic, let's be real, you know, and so that then you don't eat meat in Kawangware, but at the time, your diet is mainly Sankara. And so when you get married, the guy wants to eat at Kawangware, but your diet has always been Sankara. So expectations, be able to speak about who you are authentically and why you like what you like. And then last but not least, allow yourselves to also have fun in the midst of it. And I like what Mrs. Mwakazi had said, that, you know what, I was not really looking to date. She was open. You know, she was open. She was, you know, real with the guy, that, you know what, this is who I am. And I think authenticity sells. Authenticity sells. When we are authentic, when we are open, people fall in love with authenticity. I think there's something you had asked Jenny before about the people who are writing hi. Hi, Sasa, what's up? I think I had posted a couple of weeks ago about I was experiencing the Sasa, hi, what's up, Niaje. And let me tell you something, I sometimes feel that they are so misplaced. Sasas are going around in inboxes, very misplaced. And I think if somebody really wants to talk to you, they had better even review your profile and and see the caliber of conversation you are able to interact with. You understand? So it's important that the Sasas and the Nyajes, that's not how to approach a woman. You've got to understand who she is. What is her? What are the things that she's interested in, and why? Sasas will not get you anywhere. It's like when you have like your elevator speech. What is it that you want? If you want to impress a woman, you want to get you did swipe to the right, and you have her. What is the thing that you want to capture her attention? Sasa does not get it. It is very irritating, it's very annoying, and very disturbing, especially for because I do speak a lot to the older girl, the older girl who is over 40. The older girl cannot connect with Sasa. And it's not a cultural thing. It's the fact that she's looking for a deeper, more meaningful connection with a person that that is approaching her, and the Nyaje and the highs don't work for her.
You have really preached, Pastor Cynthia. Many women are suffering with those highs and whatever.
Now I even want to say something.
Yes. Go on, Julia.
Okay, so of course there are those, and like you say, they're really annoying. And I think for me, why I actually decided to talk to this person was because he didn't come in that way. Because for me, on my page, I post my stuff, I post where I go, I post my son. And the first thing he used to say was he liked the way I was connected to my child. And whenever I would post, maybe there's something I've done, he would come and say, actually, congratulations. So you see, in a way, this is someone who is really invested and doing his research. And I remember even by the time he was coming in to ask me on dates, he had gone through my page, because I'm one person, I take myself out. Like if it's end month, I treat myself. There's a community that we have that we say, be your own bae. So, take yourself out, go to those nice hotels that you think, they're expensive, and just enjoy. So by the time he was coming in, he was like, you know what? I realized you've gone here and here and here. Now I want to take you here, here, and here, which was a plus for him. And I think those are the things that really, really attracted me to him. And I overlooked the rest. You get? But now the problem is, of course, now I'm more cautious. And remember, for me to get to a point now I'm overlooking the red flags that were there, it's because I had not met someone who is authentic, or let me say, someone who wants to have fun, someone who now appreciates even going on dates. And now here I've found someone who is interested in that. Do you understand? And now, right now, I've gone back, of course, to the dating scene, but it took me a while again, because I was like, hey, no, I need time off. It's like I'm not meant for this dating scene. And I've been alone for the longest time. Again, the things that I look for is, now, what do you have to offer other than just material things? So because I do all these things, like I take myself out, I get judged a lot. Like people think I'm expensive. People think, I have a sponsor. That's something that comes, eh, which is so sad, because you're here, you have the few coins, and you're trying to make these few coins work, and someone is judging you in such a way. And then now dating has been so hard for me. And now you get those people who just want flings. They want to come to your house. And if there's anything that now I said, coming to my house is a no-go zone. What are you coming to do? And now I've gotten to a point where my friends tell me I'm being too hard on people. And now striking that balance, because now I have phobia from what I went through in my previous relationship. There are little things that I see even when I go on a date, and I'm like, no. And the next time this person calls me and tell me, can I take you on a date? I'm like, I don't think this is going to work, because I already felt like, no, this can't work. You understand? So I don't know how to strike that balance. I don't know if I'm being too hard, I don't know if it's okay. But if there's one thing now, I don't just settle for anything. So I think that's another angle you can look at it, Cynthia. You know, being single for the longest time, you know how to do your things. Like for example, me, I can fix my anything in my house. So if I don't get someone who, you know, you go to the house and there's something that is hanging and you're wondering, okay, you're a man, what is that? Already is, I'm already having issues. And I think I've gone through the ups and downs and everything. So when I go on a date and someone starts telling me all the accomplishments and it's just about them, you know, I have land, I have bought this huge car, I have this and this and this, because they're trying to impress you. That again is a turn off for me. So I think those are the things you can maybe tell us. I don't know if I'm being too hard.
Before
Yes.
Pastor Cynthia comments on that, because I think there are very powerful things that highlight that she needs to comment from your sharing. There's a comment from Margaret Natalie. A person who types hi and hi has nothing important to say. To me, this is always a red flag. A genuine person will introduce themselves correctly or even copper credo to call and talk to you. I think that is true for sure. Yeah. So maybe Pastor Cynthia, you can comment on that.
Yeah, I agree with what the lady has just said, that, you know what, where there is a will, there is a way. If you really genuinely want to talk to me, you will climb Mount Everest to get me. You know what I mean? Effort. Mwanaume ni effort. I think we have to understand the animal instinct that whether we have become digital or whatever it is an animal instinct where the pursuit has to take place. The raw pursuit where the lion has to, you know, look out for the gazelle and actually take its time as it's looking to how it's going to maneuver and get this little gazelle. The pursuit has to take place. Whether you see, what is missing from the dance of pursuit is online, is that it's willing buyer, willing seller. So the pursuit hasn't really taken place because what has happened, the media platform or the app has created an easy pursuit. You understand? So what happens, there is not really going to be where you have just been figured out and then you're going to really now do the cat and mouse thing. So now once you have swiped to the right, what is the next step? Is the pursuit going to happen? Because let me tell you something, there's something that happens with us physiologically, the adrenaline and all that, that allows that to happen. The animals do that. You'll find that they release certain hormones that make themselves attractive to the male and the male to the female, so that then the dance of love can begin. And that is lost when we do the online dating. Now, and not that it's a bad thing, but we have to be cognizant of the fact that something is being lost. So there's going to be more work that is going to be required from the pursuer and the pursuee, so that then this can happen authentically and in the most natural process that God created us to have. Because once it's lost there, then you find people later on, you know, trying to recreate it in other ways and other forms because this lost its lustre. You know, and you find now that it starts happening somewhere else because there was no lustre for it in the very beginning. Now, to answer what Julia was saying, are you too hard? I don't believe there's anything like too hard. It is what you require for Julia. And if Julia feels this is the right way for you to try and get me, you have to climb Mount Everest. That is my requirement. And don't settle for less. Even if the fact is that because of what happened in my past, I do not allow men into my house. That is powerful. And don't settle for less than that, because what that means is that you are sacrificing Julia on the platform of what? Okay, so you've got to understand the question I would ask you, have you dealt with the fear? Are you letting it rule over you, the fear, the insecurity, or even the disappointment and the betrayal that you felt? You have to have dealt with it so that then it's not the one that is ruling over your decision-making ability, but you being able to say, my safety comes first. And I, as Julia, will not sacrifice my safety, my ability to even allow another person into my home for the safety of my child until it's the right time that I will allow them into that space, because I feel my home is a sanctuary. It's a safety place. Yeah. By the time you come and sit on my couch, you had better be deserving. By the time I kata and you had better be deserving for my lasagna. You know what I mean? And I'm not being hard, but I think it's important for us to, I think we've become too easy. It becomes too easy for us to get dated to, by the first date, I'm like, he knows your bedroom, he knows everywhere, he knows the curtains, surely. So let's make it, let's make the pursuit authentic and worth it for us to go for the long haul. And finally, online dating is beautiful. It's amazing. With what has happened, because there are people who probably are listening to me and are saying that where is it in the Bible for it to happen? But I believe Isaac and Rebecca, if it was an online date, that was an online date. It was a connection that happened between the two of them. Two people that were connected by a platform or a person. And of course, God was at the center of it because God wanted to bless Isaac. Now, I want to tell you something, that if you're going to register for online dating, you also have to be a person who has asked God permission. Is this the way you want to give me a husband? Is this the way you want to bless me with a spouse? So that then when I log in, I'm not logging in just for, Kyodudo, because I have ladies who are listening to me that, were telling me that, they've been dating for a while. It's been a long time. They're in their 40s and they're saying, but we can't date online just because we are old and we are getting older. That is not a good enough reason that now we've opened ourselves up for online dating because of that. But if you feel that's the only platform, sure. We are living in COVID times when there are lockdowns, there are curfews that have minimized our opportunities. Even the churches right now, we were told today by Mutahi Kagwe, it's 1/3. So even our pool, our market pool of, of where to find husbands and wives have minimized, So it means that, if God is going to give you the platform for online, Tinder or Facebook or Instagram, may God make it easy, that the person who's supposed to find you will find you the right way, and it will be authentic, it will be fun, it will be godly, and you guys will get married. Call us for pilau, and we will come.
Wow, I tell you, that's powerful. Yeah, Jules Muya has a very good comment. Your standards are great. Keep them. You are like a garden. The person who wants to marry you must come with the knowledge and equipment to cultivate that garden responsibly. Good for you, girl. I think this for Julia.
I like that comment.
Yes, that's great. There's a commenter, and I think this from Mwakazi. I think you are a rare kind. And maybe to fast track or to take us now to what led you to the point of thinking now this is the woman that I would want to have as my wife, and the other way around as well. Pauline getting to that point, and you are comfortable with this guy, and that he can be your husband.
Okay, to agree on Pastor Cynthia, like doing the background check. So as the pursuer was, busy talking to the pursuee, she was also very busy talking to, to the friends and her, her very royal friend. So she kept on engaging with this guy. This is where we are going, and so they kept on chatting, yeah, with their friend. With this one, I came to learn much later. So when now I got, as we were getting, actually before we now got to our late dinner lunch, I had opened my heart out. She had actually also opened. So I think there was a level of comfortability, even now her accepting to, accompany me, like even with the things to the house and all that. So when we got there, she was also, you know, these naive people who sit at the door, right next to, you know, the door, just in case something happens, she, you know, vanishes out. And I think the door was still open so that in case anything fishy happens, she's out. But I had made my intentions clear, and I had, you know, given her a reason to feel she's safe with me. And as she was, you know, communicating to the friend. So we went for dinner, come lunch, continue with our conversation. So okay, I made it open. Like, it's either you're in or you're out. And even if you're out, I would, you know, still appreciate at least we met and we had lunch. I'll not call it a full affair. I'll appreciate that we met and all that. You understand? So, and she was actually, I think she was tired of her past and all that. So she was ready for this. So lunch continued. Our late lunch continued into, you know, late, because I invited her for a walk at Jeffries. Jeffries is in Lavington. So I invited her for a walk in Jeffries, and she was wearing a heel, you know, 6-inch heel, and it's not allowed in Jeffries. So I was like, can you wear my open shoes? So we've gone to lunch, we've come back, we had to go back home, so at least she can change the high heel into my open shoes. And she cannot put on the open shoes with the long dress she was wearing, the Ankara dress she was wearing. So I offered my tracksuit as well. I'm slightly
How sweet.
so she dropped into my tracksuit. You know the way toothpick can drop in, so she dropped in and we walked to Jaffrey. All this time she kept on communicating to the friend. This is where we are going, this is what we're doing. And the friend was comfortable. At one point, she allowed me to talk to her friend. And you know, friend was like, from what I've heard, you are a nice person, just take her. You guys have fun and take her. So, I think by the end of the day, that's exactly what I did. You know, it was now for me a green light. After the red, yellow, that was now the green light. Approval, sign of approval. So from that day on, she did not go back to her place. So you remember I told her this is your home. It became literally home because I came back home. Oh, I forgot to tell you. It's my bad. So before we left, when I had changed, you know, she changed into my tracksuit. I had taken her dress and put it in water, so that she does not leave.
Oh my goodness.
If
Drama
there's
nayo.
any
Ulikuwa umeamua.
if there's any son of Pharaoh who has done this to a daughter of Eve, kindly come on the comment section and
Oh God.
They should confess now there, yeah?
yes, they should comment on the comment section. Yeah. So that was on Saturday. We got married. On Monday, I met the firstborn sister. On Wednesday, I met the parents, both parents. Within a month, I paid her dowry. And life was, you know, moving on a fast lane. And let me tell you, let me take you back a bit. While she's coming, while we are meeting, her ex was still in the house.
What?
In her house. Yeah. Yes, because they were going through a rough time, but her ex was a white. So he was waiting for his flight date to arrive so that he can leave the country. So meanwhile, she was busy looking for, you know.
What?
Is this something to talk about?
Pauline.
He wants to shoot you now.
Yes.
Let me defend myself. I think now I can defend myself from this. You know, the fact that he came to pick me up very fast. the minute he came to pick me up, I was like, I just given myself an option. Whoever comes first, whoever appears first, that's the person I'm going out with. Because I didn't want to show him that I'll snob him. So do you know that thing that says kimberembere thing kinda? Mokazi was the first, he brought himself, in fact, he brought himself. So by the time I was leaving the office and I was walking towards Sankara, or the place I was going to, I met Kawangware waiting for me at the parking lot. And so I just said, let it be. Let me just go meet this guy, listen to what he wants to tell me, and then, share a day out and then go back home, And the fact that I went to his house and he's not telling me to open the door, I'm like, okay, let me help. Let me be good. I just want to be good. I don't want to be a snobbish woman. You're all the time on your phone. You're just frowning your face all the time. You don't want to appreciate. So I opened the door and he's telling me, oh, can I give you a house tour? This is my house. Don't worry, it's a 1-bedroom. This is the sitting area. This is the kitchen. This is the toilet. This is the bathroom in case you want to use the bathroom. And this is my bedroom. I'm like, oh, nice house, as usual. I just sat at the door with my shoes next to me and my hand on my, just slightly on my toes. If he dares do something funny, he won't get me. So I was ready to run anytime. But now something confused me. This guy is talking too much. He's telling me too much that I've never seen a guy tell a woman so much about their previous relationship. Because most people said, in your next relationship, don't talk about your exes. So I was like, this guy is talking too much. What is he trying to tell me? And I try not to cool down and listen to him. And the fact that we went out for lunch, so we were seated and he was so strict, I'm not here for games. I'm tired. I'm not here for games. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. I'm like, wait, I have to tell you something about me that I don't like. He said, no, I'm okay with you. Whatever you want to say, I'm truly okay with it. But for me, are you in or out? So I had nothing to say. I just said, I'm in. Let's give it a try. Because I was also fed up with my current situation that I was going through. A person is miles away in another world, and you're in this other world, and you're all the time crying, all the time insult. So I was like, let me not try deal with a person who just near me, a person that I understand their culture. We can communicate in any language, it would be good for me. So I just gave it a trial, but I didn't realize it. It was only 3 days, and now I'm moved in this house. And now my sister was coming. How am I going to tell my sister to meet my boyfriend? And my sister knows that my ex-husband is in the house. So how am I going to approach my sister and tell her about it? But sister thing, I told my sister about it. And when we went to pick her up, we went to Mokazi's house. And then later on, after 2 days, I told Mokazi, my mom is coming, so I have to go back to my house. So Mokazi dared me and told me, I dare you. If you truly love me, I dare you to take me to your parents. And I was like, are you sure? Are you for real? Let's go. So I took him to my mom because I was ready. I was trying to prove to him that I'm not in for jokes as well. So he met my parents and they loved him. Yeah. So that's how we became a common thing within 3 days.
The rest was history.
And the rest is
6 years later.
and now we are 6 years.
No, Jenny.
It has been 6 years now. Yes, that's a bit. That's yeah.
I know you'll throw it to Cynthia, but I just wanted to mention something that also Cynthia can expound on. I like the fact that on the story, the guy showed he's in and he's ready for it. The one thing I look at right now after going through all this ordeal is a man who puts in effort and shows me that they want in, But now it gets to a point, the people who come in and tell you, let's go with the flow. What is flow? So sometimes I ask myself, it's like going for a job interview and then the person who is interviewing you is telling you, let's go with the flow and then we'll see if we'll hire you. Of course, that you must have a goal. an end game out of it. So I think I prefer or I admire men who come out and they know what they want at the end of the day, and they put the effort and they want to, know you more. And you see, for him, he was ready. He told her, this is your home. That meant, and that gave her the security, like, you know what, I can stay here and be comfortable. And I think I love that. And I hope men get to
Wow.
hear this, because it's not the culture right now. It is not.
Somebody has said Mwakazi pressed the fast forward button on their relationship. But Nyamushi karaoke, ulifinya kabisa, you didn't want. Yeah, so before I take it to Cynthia, I know our time is really gone, so we'll have a few minutes to wrap up. And I'll give you Mwakazi's 3 minutes after Cynthia just to conclude and tell us how now you got to your wedding and all that. And there's somebody asking Lishiro, when did you involve your children or family? So as you wrap up on that, you'll also say at what point you involved your kids. Yeah, so Cynthia, you've heard that story. I know it's not one of a kind that we are used to hearing. Yeah, maybe your take on that.
Okay, thank you for really exposing your story to the masses and telling us, this is how you did it. This is how you came into love. Definitely, it's not the norm. It's not the norm. I think you're in the minority sector, because as a relationship coach and a marriage counselor, one of the things that I would that usually when I'm counseling and speaking to people is that, get to know yourself first, especially after the end of a relationship. Because once you get to know yourself first and get the healing, it's easier to get into the second relationship without the baggage from the first. It doesn't mean that you can't get married, but you have a lot more work, the two of you, dealing with each other individually, because now you have no more work, because you still have baggage from your past as you're getting into a new relationship. So being cognizant of that fact will help you learn each other, learn yourselves, and actually heal yourselves first, especially because there were children involved. So this is a blended home with blended needs. So that's very critical and very important. The other thing is that the thing that I really liked about this conversation is that what you see is what you get. And there was such clear disclosure. This is, I want you now. See Kesho, see next week. There was a very clear definition of who I am and why I want you. And I think that's something that is really lacking in today's generation, is that we have very unclear, no defining the relationship. Tukienda tuendange. We are like the river. Wherever it flows, we will stay. And that's not who we are. The Bible actually says in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, write your vision and make it plain. Let me tell you something. I look at organizations that I've worked in. The reason why I worked for those organizations is that I actually looked at their vision plan, and it connected with my vision of where I want to go. And because of that vision, it was very easy for me to look at the money, yes, but to also look at purpose. And that's so critical and very important. This man does his purpose marry with what I am also called to do, so that when we join our forces together, one can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight. The two of us can actually take the city by the storm. It's not always about badminton, how good we are in bed together or how good we are in making business together. It is also about how we are good at actually doing the things that God has called us to do. Sometimes I ask the question is that, why do you think marriage is always attacked? When we're dating, we are fine. We can be dating for 10 years. But as soon as you get into something called the covenant of marriage, then there is a problem, because there's the power of the two of you being like values, like mind, joining your forces and your resources together and actually pursuing that. the enemy is not happy with you. And so for me, it's so profound that when, oh my goodness, my computer is about to die. But I like what this conversation, I feel we should have a part 2, Miss Jenny.
Yes. I'm thinking we've really rushed. We'll plan for part 2 because we need even to hear more of what Mwakazi is, to the end. So we need to plan for part 2 of this. Yeah. So maybe we can have our closing remarks. Maybe Cynthia, we can start with you in case your whatever dies. Just your closing remarks as far as this conversation is concerned.
Okay. Here are my closing remarks. Number 1, online dating is not a sin. But what will be required for you is open your eyes. Don't go into online dating with your heart only. Go with your mind, your intellect. Go with your eyes wide open. There are a lot of predators out there who are scammers. Be very careful about personal information that you give out there. Privacy comes first. Your privacy, your credit cards, your information, your children, especially if you're already a parent, please safeguard your family first. Don't give out too much information that you know that can come to hurt you. The other thing is that if you choose to do online dating, it's again on your terms. Do not sacrifice your terms until you two are in agreement of what you want. Remember, it's across the globe, it's across countries and continents. So make sure that you are very cognizant, you are authentic, you have done all that you can to safeguard yourself. And if you feel your red flags, count on your instinct. There's something about our instinct. As soon as you start to feel, kitaumana, this thing is not working, please jump ship. Get out before it's too late, before you have invested more than you were supposed to invest. Then last but not least, let's ensure that keep away intimacy, sexual intimacy, out of that relationship in the very beginning. Because sexual intimacy is going to what do you call it? Basically blinds you from seeing the red flags in the relationship. If you keep it out for a longer time, you get to build emotional intimacy, psychological intimacy, and intellectual intimacy between the couple, so that then you can ask each other the critical questions that have nothing to do with how well you are good with badminton. I think that's what I would say. Enjoy it. Enjoy online dating. It is something that is available right now. So looking forward to hearing from the people on the comments what their experiences have been. And so I'm looking forward to part 2, Miss Jenny.
Yes, you will get that. And maybe you can tell us where you can be found, maybe your Facebook page, the books that you have written that we can buy.
All right. So I'm in a cross-cultural marriage. So we wrote a book called When Love Dares. When Love Dares is our cross-cultural relationship. I'm Wamboi, I'm married to an Otieno. We were married right after post-election violence. So we wrote a book that helps us talk about the cross-cultural challenges that we had to encounter through our own story. And remember, I said we only had one date. So that's what we wrote together with my husband. You can find me on social media, Cynthia Wamboi Otieno Life, Love, Relationship Coach, or my regular profile, Cynthia Wamboi Otieno. I do respond to emails. I do respond to all my inboxes, as long as you don't say, hey, Sasa, and Niaje. If you use proper English and proper conversations, I actually answer all my messages myself.
Wow. Thank you for that, Pastor Cynthia. That was so powerful. Mwakazi, you can wrap it up for us in a few minutes, and then you give us your closing remarks.
Yeah, so like one thing I would like to add on what Pastor Cynthia said. It's always very important to pray for a discerning spirit. Yeah, is this the right person? Because one thing I did not say, I had 5 options. Right? For the girls I had met on Tinder, I was actually to meet them the following week. 5 of them.
Wow.
And they were more beautiful, they were more brown, they were more tall. And when I kept on going back to my friend to ask, of these 5, who do you think I should get involved with? She kept on telling me about the rest 4 and not her. every time she was like, no, the rest are good. Uyu, yeah, she's a model, and models. So, and my heart was, so much for her that later, after now we've settled and all that, the other ladies started now complaining. I will not use those words here, but but they kept on complaining. Anyway, we are happy. We are happy. We're taking this journey together. And like what Pastor Cynthia said, if you agree, if you are cognizant of the direction you are taking, and both of you, your ideas and everything goes together, I think it's a good way to join hand and go. And we are happy. We have our children here. Yeah, they're here in the house. We are happy.
Wow, wow. That's great. And as
Amen.
we've said, we'll have part 2 of this so that we can hear more of the blended thing, how it looks like. And we're really happy for you. Maybe you can tell us how you can be found, your Facebook page, and where the audience can follow you or support.
Yeah, I'm a content creator. I have a YouTube channel called Mwakazi's Fitness. If you want free exercise, you can always check on my YouTube channel. It's always free to subscribe. So apart from being a content creator on my YouTube channel, I'm also a content creator with Based by Safaricom. Yeah, the new mobile app that Safaricom has started. So if you go to Base, you'll also find my videos there, and I deal in exercise. So everywhere else, Mwakazi's Fitness, you will find me. Ask me any question related to fitness. I'll be glad to, walk hand in hand with you.
Thank you for that. Your parting shot, Julia?
Okay, so this was amazing, and yeah, I'm also looking forward to a part 2. Actually so inspired with your story, the Mokazis, and yeah, I hope to hear more. And for me, yeah, I still forjoin. I still believe in love, and yeah, but I'm more cautious now, very, very. And if you hear people saying I'm being too hard, I'm being too hard. So I'm taking the journey one day at a time. And yeah, let's see how it goes. For me, I am a podcaster, and my podcast goes by the name Just Being Real, Good Vibes Only Podcast, which was just born from the ups and downs of life. And like I said, it's just to appreciate life. Life is beautiful at the end of the day, and never to focus on the failures that we bump on along the way, and always not like we should never overlook the little positives that come in whenever we have these things, failure coming about. And then for my podcast, of course, I think Jenny will share the link. Plus, now you can also follow me on my social media pages. That is on Instagram, Julia Award One. On Facebook, it's Award Ayako, though I have a page which goes by Julia Award One. Okay. And yeah, I'm looking forward to more of this. This has been amazing, and I'm hoping also to connect more. Cynthia, I am reaching out very soon.
Sure.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
yes, and also I work with Dairyland, a digital marketer. Yeah, you know Dairyland, home of sweet treats, ice cream,
Oh,
chocolate.
wow.
Yeah, yes. So thank you so much for having me, Jenny.
Wow. I really appreciate all our guests just for finding time to be here, and also for our audience for being with us, for listening, for giving your comments and your questions. We really appreciate all of you. And I will end this by a quote by Dominic saying, the perfect relationship is defined by you. It's not defined by what you read, or the unrealistic expectations people give to validate themselves. Until we meet again next month, I've been your host, Jenny Washira, and I'll ask Pastor Cynthia to close with a word of prayer. Have a blessed night, all of you.
You too.
Okay. She
Oh, I
looked like
think yeah,
she's
her battery.
hanged. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
hanged. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Lord, for the wonderful time you've given us. Thank you for what we've discussed. Thank you for our audience. Thank you for our guests. Bless us all and give us a blessed night. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.